Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Eva, I'm 14 and I am from the UK. I have a condition called spondylolisthesis and I also have a pars defect. These are conditions which all affect your spine. So I decided for my first video I would do a video all about these conditions and everything you need to know about them. So if you do enjoy this video, remember to like, comment and subscribe as I'll be doing loads more about my condition. So let's get on with the video. Spondylolysis, or pars, or having a pars defect, is a defect or stress fracture in the pars interarticulars of the vertebral arch. So that basically means a breakage in your spine. So it can either be bilateral or unilateral. So unilateral means on one side, bilateral means on both sides. So mine is on both sides. My spondylolisthesis is actually caused by this pars defect. So spondylolisthesis is a disorder of the spinal cord in which one vertebra or more slips onto the bone below it. And this is categorized into lots of different grades. So it can either be grade 1 is a slip of up to 25% from the spine. Grade 2 is a slip between 26 and 50%. Grade 3 is a slip between 51 to 75%. Grade 4 is a slip between 76 or 100%. And grade 5, or spondylolisthesis, is when the vertebrae is completely fallen off the next vertebrae. So me personally, I have a level 4 plus, which means it's basically nearly fallen off. So to fix this, I am going to need surgery, and my surgery is booked for the I think it's the 11th of March 2021. So that for me is in 2 weeks. I got diagnosed with spondylolisthesis at the beginning of January, so that is January 2021, and now it is the end of February 2021, and I am getting surgery in, as I said, 2 weeks. This is massive. Normally you don't get surgery this early, but my symptoms have been drastically increasing, which is making it really hard for me to actually do anything. So that's why I'm getting surgery this early. Normally, it's very rare anyway to have a level 4 or level 5 slippage, especially when you're young at my age. So it's normally when you get older. But I'm getting this surgery because it can, I am getting numbness in my leg and pins and needles. So that's called scoliosis. I can't remember how you say it, but I'll put it on the screen anyway. And that's just like pain in my leg. So I get that in my right leg, and I get numbness in my feet, in my foot. And I get like really hot feelings in my leg also. I also have very bad buttocks pain, especially at the top when I go to sit down or stand up. And I've started to get pain around the top of my neck and obviously where the bone has slipped. I also suffer from bladder incontinence, meaning I find it really hard to hold my urine for longer than an hour, and I do have leakages. And I'm very open about this because I believe people need to know that it's normal to have these kinds of things and that it can be fixed. And I have these problems due to a compromised or pinched nerve in my back. Therefore, it's obviously affecting all these problems. But common symptoms of spondylolisthesis are lower back pain, as I have, thigh pain, as I have, tenderness, as I also have, tightness in the hamstring or buttock muscles, which I have, and leg stiffness. However, there's a whole range of different symptoms. So if you're unsure, it's best to consult your GP and then get referred to a specialist hospital. So I got referred to my GP because of the shape of my spine. It's very funny. It kind of goes in at the top and like down and then twists at the bottom, because I do have scoliosis at the top of my spine, I forgot to mention, but that's not really causing a problem for me at the moment. It's just the bottom bit. So the GP did refer me to my hospital where I got the x-ray, and they told me that I had spondylolisthesis. And then I went ahead and had an MRI scan to see what was happening with my nerves, why I was getting these feelings. And then they saw the pinched nerve and they saw that I had pars defect. So then I went and I saw a surgeon, and we were talked about the operations and different strategies we can do before the operation, etc., etc. So it's best to consult with your GP or hospital about what options are best for you and your grade, and basically what's going to be best for your health and also your mental health, because it will be a big toll on it, because I deteriorated so quickly. So it was like going from being an active, fun life, going out with my friends, to just having to stay in bed all the time. So this operation is well needed. So what are the treatments available for spondylolisthesis? So there are many different treatments available. They all depend on your different grades, slippage, your symptoms, what pain you're experiencing, and what your doctor recommends. So the most common treatments are, you can get medications such as epidural steroid injections, you can take inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, naproxen. And there's also, some doctors recommend a back brace while some don't. Just all depends on what is best for your spine. So I personally tried the epidural steroid injections. These went in on both the sides of my back, as those are both the sides with my Pars disease. Unfortunately, this did not help me, which my surgeon didn't think it would anyway because of my high grade, but it does help lots of people with a much lower grade and much less symptoms. But you just have to try things. That's what I've learned. We just need to try things, find out what works, find out which doesn't, and then move forward from there. So I took these steroid injections. So what they do is they put you in through a CT scan. They check your back and spine, obviously, and then they take you out. They give you numbing injections around the site. Then they put you back in, make sure everything's fine. Then they give you, I had them doing it at the same time. I had 2 people on each side doing it at the same time. They had their own little screen as well. And then they were just giving me injections here, there, and everywhere. It was quite scary and overwhelming. Then they just put me back in the scanner, take me out, do more injections. I did end up being in there for about half an hour, but that's because it was on both sides, obviously. So it all just kind of depends. If you want me to do a more in-depth, story time on that, I can definitely do that, because I was personally so scared for when I had to get that done, because I'd never had anything done like that. All I'd had was my local, obviously, jabs at school and at the doctor's, so that was absolutely terrifying for me. So I'd happily do another video on that. But there's loads of different treatments available. It doesn't always have to be an operation. However, in most cases, that is the best route to go down. So let's get down to basics. What actually causes spondylolisthesis? Well, for me personally, the doctors think it was just, I was born with it, just how I grew in the womb, however, because they can see that it looks quite weird down the bone where it's come from, therefore showing that it's been there for quite a while. However, there is many different reasons someone can develop spondylolisthesis, so I'm going to read it off my computer so I don't get anything wrong here. An injury such as falling out of a tree, for example, or falling off something, or a car crash, etc., etc., you know what I mean. A birth defect called congenital spondylolisthesis, which the doctors believe I have. A family history of the condition. It also increases the risk of acquiring it. Growth during adolescence, so what also happened, which they may think, there's 2, so they either think I was born with it, or they think that when I've grown, the bone which holds together my spine didn't stretch enough, which then caused it to break, which has caused the Pars defect. So it could either be a bit of both, or I was just born with it, or it was the Pars. No one really knows, to be honest with you. Males are also more likely to develop symptoms, and people who do lots of physical activity and more extreme sports such as gymnastics, hockey, etc., who do constant sports are more at risk of getting it. And ageing can also lead to spondylolisthesis. So you find that most older people So from the age of around 40 plus have spondylolisthesis just through wear and tear and the back getting older, etc. And it's also linked to other problems. So that's why it's quite hard for me, because there's not many people my age, especially I'm from the UK, if you didn't know, not many people in the UK who actually have spondylolisthesis. That is why I am making this YouTube channel and doing these videos to help anyone who needs any advice and to just basically tell my story. If it'll help anyone, that's great. So, what did I actually personally try? So I first of all started with obviously ibuprofen, paracetamol, Calpol. None of that worked. I was still in pain, obviously, because it was due to my back. So I tried codeine phosphate, as we can see here, and I had that 4 times a day if needed, and this was the 15 mg ones. However, these had very bad side effects on me, made me extremely sleepy, disorientated, which all these medicines can do, which is a very, very con to them. However, this one made me especially sleepy, therefore I couldn't take it when I was doing my schoolwork, which then meant I had to have days in pain, which was not good. And it can also, all these as well, that I should mention, is they make your stool, you can be constipated. So I also do take Movicol, which is basically powder which you put in juice, and it basically softens your stool for you so you can go to the toilet easier. So anyway, I started with, it's upside down, codeine phosphate, didn't work. I then moved on to Voltarol with advice from the hospital, upside down as well. And I also tried, I forgot to grab it. So I had this, Voltarol, and then this didn't work. So then I went on to something stronger. So it's all like steps. So they like you to start on like the lowest medication to then build up to find out, because you don't want to be on much medication, obviously, because it can impact your health in the long term. So they start lower down, like the chemist and the GP, etc., who organise your medicine, and then they just start to build up. So I'm now on gabapentin, as you can see here, 100 mg. I have this 3 times a day, sorry. I tried doing it 1 tablet 3 times a day, however, that did not help. This is for specialised nerve pain, I should add, sorry. This is just pain relief. The codeine didn't work. Voltarol is for constipation, back pain, just general wear and tear. So I didn't think that was going to work anyway. And then gabapentin is more for specialised nerve pain. And then also I'm taking morphine, oral morphine. And I did start by taking 2.5 milligrams every 4 hours. But now I have hired that to 5 milligrams every 4 hours because it was not working. I still don't think it's working, which is why I'm glad I'm getting this operation. However, you just need to find a medication which works for you, and you need to work with your GP, chemist, whoever you're working with, in order to find the perfect medication which is right for your needs and right for your condition. So guys, thank you for watching my little intro to spondylolisthesis and my pars defect. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments. I will be documenting my surgery journey with like what I'm going to pack. Be also doing what my surgery is going to look like, etc. So if you've got any questions or absolutely anything, please feel free to use the comments, and remember to like this video. And I hope at least one person found this helpful. And if you did, make sure to let me know. So thank you for watching, subscribe, and goodbye.